Welcome everyone to the Hart Show. Today I will be interviewing two successful explorers named Elon Musk and Sue Hendrickson. I have a few questions to ask you. I will start by asking about your childhood. Where did you grow up and what was life like for you?
Thank you for asking. My life as a child was quite rough. I started becoming interested in computers when I was young. I was born in Pretoria, South Africa. I was really interested in computers and science fiction. I got tortured by other children. I eventually moved to North America with my mom.
My life has basically been very adventurous, and it all started from the beginning when I was just a kid. I was born in Chicago and I grew up in Munster. I grew up with two other siblings. I had a younger sister and an older brother. I was a very good swimmer and I won almost every race. However, I did it because my mom wanted me to. What I wanted to do, it wasn't what I wanted to do with my life.
When I was a child, I traveled around a lot. Not too adventurous traveling, but I traveled around a lot. I lived in Kansas City. I also lived with my wealthy parents during the summer. Then I lived with my maternal grandparents during the school year. My second question for you is, what did you find or discover? Would you consider your exploration to have been successful? Why or why not?
Well, in terms of business, I've found a lot of businesses. I also think I'm successful.
Honestly, I have been successful and I discovered good things. I would consider my journey to be successful, considering I found the most complete skeleton in the world, and it was also the biggest skeleton found in the world. I am very proud that I affected society in a way that inspires others to follow their dreams to become what they want to become.
I wasn't too successful, but I did discover a few things in life. I found that the most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tendency. I also found that you can do anything you decide to do. It sadly was not successful because I disappeared. The other flights were successful though. What did you need to do to prepare for your exploration?
I prepared a lot, mostly when I was a child. I worked very hard. I worked about 100 hours a week. I started programming when I was 12, and I read 5 hours a day. I went to the University of Pennsylvania after 2 years at Queen's University.
Most of the things I needed weren't tools. To prepare for my exploration, I needed to do research on the area grounds to be able to find a fossil or a dinosaur bone. I also needed to get some digging tools to be able to dig up the fossils.
I had a few things to get ready before I flew somewhere new. I needed to take flying lessons. I also had to figure out what I wanted to do and the routes I had to take. I also had to prepare myself mentally because when flying there are many dangers. Is there anything you find interesting in your life?
Some may think they know a lot about me, but they probably don't know about how I made my fortune as co-founder of PayPal. My dad had given me some money to start me off, and I gave all of it back. Also, I became an American citizen at age 31. I started my career when I was a child and made a video game which sold for $500. And a surprising fact, I dropped out of graduate school to become an entrepreneur.
My life was interesting from the start, but one thing I really found interesting was that I have moved many times in my life. I have moved from New Jersey to Florida, then I moved from Florida to California, then I moved back to Florida. However, I never lived in Louisiana where I found Sue the dinosaur.
I did a few interesting things other than flying. During World War I was a nurse's aide in Toronto, Canada, to tend to wounded soldiers. In 1932, I developed flying clothes for the 99s that were advertised in Vogue. While flying in Boston, I wrote articles promoting flying in the local newspaper. This question is for Elon only. How do you think your discoveries will affect the world 10 years from now?
The world would have changed a lot. I plan to do many things. In 10 years, I plan to have taken humans to Mars. There will also be less pollution because of my electric cars.
This one's for you, Sue. Why did you become a paleontologist?
What an interesting question. Ever since I was younger, I would hide stuff around the yard or have my brother hide things, and I would find them. Whenever my family went to the beach, I would search for treasure. Basically, it was what I loved to do, so I wanted to do that someday for a living. However, I never imagined to have such a great find that inspired others to follow their dreams.
Thanks for listening, and tune in next time for The Hart Show.